We are getting closer and closer to the start of MPL Philippines Season 8, and so the fine people of Coventry thought, hey, why don't we do Day Zero? It's been a while, so let's do a special episode. Day Zero is back with the pre-show edition and with a new season for the new season of MPL Philippines. Hey everyone, Renmar here, and on Day Zero, the pre-show, instead of doing our usual, deep dive analysis of what to expect for the coming season, this episode will be focusing on you getting to know our newest talents in the MPL, Naisou and OSX. They're here with us. They're gonna show up on your screen. Boom, there they are. It's Naisou. That's OSX. Smile and wave, boys. What's good? Naisou.
Smile and wave.
What is up?
Smile and wave.
What is up?
Naisou, how are you? How's the preseason prep going for you?
Good, man. It's a lot of watching and playing Mobile Legends, of course, and I'm excited.
Yeah, that's the life. Get used to it for many months, hopefully years. OSX, when we were in the photo shoot, we got to talk a bit. It was like you couldn't believe you were part of the MPL. Has it finally sunk in? Naramdaman mo na ba na, ay, nasa MPL na ako?
Naramdaman ko na talaga siya na nag-start na tayo ng caster workshop, and during the caster search a bit so, pero when it sinks to you na parang you're part of the team, that's where the awesomeness and excitement comes in, especially ngayon na there's a lot of changes, new roster, new teams, so the hype and excitement, pero at the same time you also need to be safe on what's happening ngayon sa current situation natin sa Manila.
Yeah, I think both of us we're a bit under the weather kasi of course sometimes it happens when you get the vaccine. There are side effects, but don't worry about it. It's better to go through those than getting COVID overall. So yeah, get vaccinated. Not saying that you can't get COVID if you're vaccinated, but overall it's just so much better if we're vaccinated. So find ways through your through your LGU. They have multiple ways for you getting vaccinated, and hopefully all of us can get that soon enough. But for today, we're going to be hearing more from OSX and Naisou because we're going to be having the Ask the Caster segment and many more as we go through what we're going to be seeing for today. Of course, we're going to be talking to our talking about more about the MPL-PH Season 8 talents. We're gonna get to know more about what happened with the caster search kasi alam ko nakita natin yung mga yung mga behind the scenes videos from days 1 to 3, and now we get to hear personally from OSX and Naisou kung ano nga nangyari. And of course, we get to know OSX and Naisou more, and we are gonna be watching your videos actually because there are people there who sent videos through the giveaway. Yeah. Through a giveaway game prize thing, thing that Coventry is doing on the page. If you want to know what that is, boom, it's going to be showing up on your screen right now. We're going to be giving away diamonds. So all you need to do is take a video of yourself asking questions for the casters, for the Coventry casters. Send it via PM to the Coventry page and comment on the giveaway post Day Zero to confirm. Actually, madami na nag-send eh. And yung mga videos na papakita namin mamaya, yan yung pinili lang para ipakita ngayon. That doesn't mean that someone already won. The announcement of the winners for that giveaway will be for a few days before MPL-PH Season 8 starts. We're not completely sure yet when that will be. We're still waiting for the official announcements. But yeah, don't worry. If your video gets shown today, that doesn't mean you won the diamonds. And if your video doesn't get shown, that means you still have a chance. Okay, so there. That's out of the way. And I'm really excited for this because I've been wanting to get to know you guys a little bit better. We got to talk a few times during the photo shoot, during the caster workshop as well. So we'll start first with Naisou. And how did it feel, man, when you found out that you were part of the Season 8 talent roster?
Man, I was super excited, of course. I was kind of surprised, too, because, big props to OSX for winning the actual caster search competition. But when I was contacted and they reached out to me, of course, I was like, wait, what? What's going on? And then, because I was at home and I was actually just like doing work when they called me. And I was kind of I thought they were joking at first, and then I was like, oh cool, yeah, I'm all down, and I was also just happy because, to be honest, I love working with OSX. I've gotten the chance to do work with him in the past, so that excited me, and also seeing you guys for, I don't know, years on online, and I've been to a couple competitions in person. So for me, it was the idea of like, oh, I finally get to cast with these people, and also cast Mobile Legends, which was a huge part of my past 2 years as a streamer. So very excited.
Yeah, and we're excited to work with you, man. I have a few more questions for you, but we'll save that for a little later. Now for OSX, actually, Naisou did just mention that in terms of who actually won the caster search, it was this man right here. What was that feeling like? What were you doing that day when you saw, or when you were told, hey, you won the caster search, you're going to be part of MPL?
I was about to buy my lunch. I skipped my lunch for that day for some reason. I was doing work from home, and gutom na ako, and I had the feeling I just need to get some food. And suddenly my phone rang, and akala ko parang it's just another get together call, and suddenly actually you're the winner, and nawala bigla yung gutom ko. So parang hindi ko alam kung ako bibili pa ako ng pagkain ko. Hindi ko alam. I don't know what to feel or even say. So parang I was speechless for a moment na, should I cry now? But it will look not good sa dahil sa labas ako. I was in the street. So parang I save it for later. Ganun na lang, kuha na lang ako ng food, and surprise ko na lang sila sa bahay. And, hey, I won. Tapos doon na lang ako nag-burst out. And it's still surreal, and that night parang hindi ko pa rin ma-imagine na parang I did it, but for some point I thought hindi ko makakayanan for the whole process, but everything was so meaningful to us and didn't feel like a competition at all. So parang yun yung part na na-enjoy namin lahat, even me and Naisou and everybody in the caster search.
Interesting. The caster search did not feel like a competition, and honestly, that's what happens when you put a bunch of casters together in the same room. And I know it's a great opportunity to just really make friends, get to know each other professionally, personally, even build those connections, which will really help you in the future in your career. And that's what we're going to be talking about now. Your experiences for the MPL caster search. Actually, I think there are like a bunch of slides or clips of behind the scenes from that day. That's day number one. Naisou, when we talked about day number one, you said it was probably one of the more tiring days. Why was that? And what did you guys experience on this first day?
This day was like packed with information, man. And like everybody here was like, I forgot how long we were there, but it was a ton of information, especially from our speakers and Sir Noel, I believe. I forgot his last name, man, but he's a legendary just announcer for the PBA, and like he taught us so much. So I think the reason why it was so tiring that first day was just the amount of information we got, really.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be the end of it, because it went on for a few more days after that. OSX, what was the second and third day like of the caster search?
As Naisou said, yung first day was all about the pressure. Doon namin na feel lahat, everybody's getting the feel of the room and what the caster search is going for. Pero nung time na nagkaroon na kami ng kulitan on the way to the boot camp, it felt lighter. At the same time, nung second day, we can just make fun of each other with saying jokes with one another, like nagkulitan lang sa kainan. And we had this rule na you don't need to stay in one chair at all times. So parang katabi ko si Naisou, the next time you're gonna eat with, pwede katabi kay Rockhart. Next time pwede katabi kay Chantel. So madaming So it's all about getting to know everybody, and at the same time, you will get to have a feel on what you need to apply in every workshop. So going back to the question, day 2 was the most challenging part, which is yung TriCast, simulation and application. O, diba, do? After the lesson, apply ka agad. So, bigla ang pressure. Wow. And the funny thing was, diba? And the funny thing was, we don't know what's gonna happen in the day or on the day. So, sabihan nila kami after breakfast, hey, you have a module on a personality development. Okay, the next part, we have a module on meron kayong module on TriCast or the analyst desk stand challenge. Parang we don't know what's gonna happen. And what's awesome about this, parang we came to a point that we all need to be ready on what ride we're going to face. Or kung ano bang pwede bigay na challenge, we just need to move forward and have fun. And yung day 3 was the most tiring day ever. But it's the most rewarding day sa aming lahat. Di ba? Even to Naisou. Mostly he does Tagalog castings. We in that simulation.
Tagalog or English?
Oh, English, but yeah. English. Pero I know, right. You never did Tagalog, but it's a challenge for us dahil you need to go to a Tagalog broadcast, switch again to an English broadcast. So the challenge was there, pero the fun, it's all about, the starting pain that we all need to go through. It's like a baptism of fire as I saw it.
Yeah. Like I heard some stories from the other casters who were helping run the workshop, like sila Rockhart and of course Midnight. Hopefully Midnight's doing okay there in NXP Evos. It seems like the third day was really challenging. What about you, Naisou? Same sentiments, or was there like another part of the workshop that was more challenging for you?
Man, day 3 had to be the hardest, just because, like, as OSX said, they kind of threw that curveball to me. And it's funny because we all had like these secret missions. Like day 1, they coaches, we had coaches. So shout out to Rob Luna, he was our coach, and we all had secret missions. And mine, I'm sure we can talk about it now. Like mine was to speak as much Tagalog as I could, like throughout the weekend, and so I was kind of forced to, and even my co-casters would be like, "I'm not going to answer you till you say it in Tagalog," and then so like I was forced to speak as much as I could, and then so that third day it was an entire simulation, and of course they threw me into a huge challenge, which is to pretty much like be. I think it was like an analyst portion where I had to speak Tagalog, and OSX was my partner, and he like pretty much, I'm not gonna lie, he helped me a lot, basically. So big shout out to him because I struggle with that. It's something that I'm continuously working on. But yeah, day 3 was a challenge altogether, but it was at the same time, it was such a good, I feel like team building day. Like we all came together, and that's why it's true. Like it didn't feel like a competition, even though it was, because everybody was just helping each other. And it's like you see all your co-casters like thrive, and just kind of for a lot of us, we broke through like these plateaus, or like we broke the barrier. We went to like our final form. It felt like, on day 3. So it was an amazing day, even though it was the most challenging.
Yeah, that's great. That's what you guys felt out of it, because like even ourselves for season 7, like we knew that just like every season there's always like awards for like best cast or anything. That was never like a thing for us. Like okay, it's there, but if ever that happens, we're just so happy, and it's great that you guys got to feel that camaraderie, that culture of really just helping out, because that's what we're like behind the scenes. In front of the camera, we seem like idiots. we're just having fun, loving every single moment of our jobs, which is true. But then behind the scenes, what you guys don't see is like just hours and hours of talking about the meta, talking about what comes next. So that's really great that you guys got to feel that as well. For you, OSX, other than, of course, the difficulties coming from the last day, was there, and it doesn't have to be related to the workshop, like a workshop practice, kahit like may siguro during the downtime nyo, ano yung pinaka-unforgettable na moment para sa'yo? Or something that until now like really still sticks with you?
Nangyari to during our lunch breaks and breakfast. Siyempre, ako honestly, my team and yung mga roommates ko, room number 5, we didn't have a chance to swim together. Malaking swimming pool. Pero hindi kami nagkaroon ng chance just to really swim together dahil we were all stuck in our accomplishing our secret missions na kailangan ma-fulfill siya in just 3 days. So yung pinaka-memorable part was that each journey of the contenders of the top 9 caster search going through the 3-day boot camp, because we all come from different walks of life. So the challenge was we all need to sacrifice this part, we all need to go through this part, and merong mga bagay na we all risked to be here, and it's all about taking that leap even though hindi ka pa ready. And one of the best thing about that was parang we all had that fire inside of us na parang win or lose, we all get something here. And as kahit ulitin ko, it felt like more of a workshop, building everybody's grip on kung saan kami nag-start. And moving forward on what they're trying to accomplish, parang that was also the starting point kung paano kami nagkakilala. At the same time, we're trying to widen our circle. Even though esports, the esports industry is still growing in the Philippines. And habang nag-grow kayo, and may kilala ka ng top 9 na magkakasama yung mag-grow together. And nagkwekwentuhan kami during the merienda time, during the breaks, and what was your job before casting? Yung mga ganun ba? We all got to share those sentiments. And what were you before here? Yung mga ganun.
Yeah, and like looking at the roster of the people, like I knew more than half of the ones who eventually made it into the caster workshop, into the boot camp. And
yeah.
That's great that you guys got to hear each other's stories there. And I'm sure when people see Naisou in the lineup of MPL Philippines, like, I wonder what's that guy's story? Because you stick out, man, for many reasons.
Yeah, a little bit.
But so, what is the story of Naisou getting to where you are now? You don't have to tell me your entire life, but if you want to, well, we have like a bit of time.
Yeah. I'll just sum it up. So pretty much, I was a teacher. I taught kids with special needs for 3 years. The pandemic happened. The center that I worked at shut down. It closed. And that's when I took up streaming. So with streaming full time, Mobile Legends kind of built my following and my audience off being the #1 Gourd player in the world. And then after, and I was just playing him at like Mythical Glory. So I think that's what kind of became my niche. And then I was casting. I kind of like always casted over my gameplay, but I never knew I was actually casting. I would just do it for fun, basically. And I started making content on TikTok. I posted it there. Butters found it, and he linked me up with the guys here at Covenry, and that's where I met Dan and everything. And then pretty much things just snowballed into me becoming a caster. And long story short, now I'm here, like going into MPL season 8. It's crazy. It's crazy because it's going from a pretty much teaching background, streaming, creating a clip on TikTok, to it being discovered, and then now I'm having an opportunity here into MPL season 8. So that's the journey, I guess, and it's been crazy, man.
Yeah. One thing I've always wanted to ask you though is like, why Gourd? Of all the heroes, why is it that when you saw Gourd, it's like, yeah, this is the guy I'm gonna reach top global with? Why him?
Yeah, it's funny because when I first started playing, when ML just came out, I actually read the lore of a lot of the heroes, and Gourd was a teacher, so he was a professor. Yeah, and so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, man. I'm a teacher. He's a teacher. And then when I started looking at the abilities, he has like his ultimate Mystic Gush is pretty much like a Kamehameha, and DBZ is my favorite, my favorite of all time. So I was like, this is the hero for me, and then that was it.
So it's like everything just aligned, like all your interests, who you are. It's like, yeah, that's me. So I'm gonna pick this guy.
Also,
okay, maybe.
Also, I will say the fact that I just enjoy playing like non-meta, whether it's heroes or like anything in any game. I like playing the non-meta stuff and trying to make it work. So that was part of it as well.
Yeah, and you reached top global with it. So, hey, if any of the teams or analysts or players from any of the MPL teams are watching, try to make Gourd a thing. And then whoever's on the casting desk, if Naisou's not there, we'll get him on the casting desk just to cast that Gourd game. Because I know
that's
you'll
my
mark
one
out
wish,
for
man.
Yeah, just one Gourd game. For OSX, I actually was going through your page earlier, and I saw that the earliest post from your page was like back in Feb 2020. So that's still, it's more than a year now. Yeah, but I think that's we roughly started around the same time with being public with our content creation. So what pushed you into being a content creator for video games and eventually casting? What's the OSX story this time around?
Okay, funny, nag-start din siya during the pandemic. before everything else, I started with an organization in Negros. It's Jobancom Esports and Entertainment. We had this long tour, Negros tour of Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and you got to get around Negros and see all of these huge community in one big amphitheaters and gathered all together just to witness one game. And masayang part lang is everybody is so into it, even the officials are really into it. So parang nakakatuwa lang tingnan na hindi lang pala yung mga generation natin ngayon nag-enjoy. Kumbaga, in all ages, everybody enjoys this game. And that was before that was a pre-pandemic. I was doing casting, and that friend of mine told me that why don't you try casting? And we all had the same thing, that okay, one of the games that pulled me through and got me out there was Mobile Legends, and mostly these are tournaments around the city or mga barangays, or even mga in a scope of regional tournaments, Bacolod, Iloilo, most of those. Kasi mostly I have my work there, and at the same time when I'm free and when it's my day off, I just go and do casting, because it's a part of me. I want to keep on practicing and keep on going. And from that, no nag-pandemic na, I was stuck at home. So sabi ng friend ko, why don't you try streaming? And sabi ko, nahiya ako tumingin sa camera. Parang mali ngayon, no? So, doon na, so okay, stream. Okay, I'll just try streaming. And the first game that I streamed was Dead by Daylight. And I had my full headphones on, and nagsisigaw na lang ako doon with my friend. So, that was one of the most challenging, at the same time embarrassing, but at the same time, who cares? It's the pandemic, wala akong magawa. Nag-stream na lang ako ng Dead by Daylight. And from that, sabi ko, ano bang pwede kong gawin just to keep my page going? And it all started with COD M, when I tried to pair up these players. Kasi there's a time na nagkakaroon silang with a beef with one another. So sabi nila, 1v1, 2v2 tayo. O sige, para mas na lang, 5v5 na lang. Ngayon na tayo pakita natin dito. Why isang best of 3? So, it all started from there. COD M, and doon na nagkaroon ng mga scrimmages. That's where also I met Leo. And from that, kinontinue ko na rin yung community ko that I've been with ML. So, those were the two games who really carried me. And from that moment, I wanted to continue those community games wherever I am, as long as free ako. So, these guys are like saying, sir, baka pwede na mga featuring game namin dito. Mostly aspiring teams in ML na parang baka maybe you want to showcase our talent. So ako tutuwa lang naman ako dyan. At the same time, if kung natutuwa ako, I just give out some diamonds and stuff. And sige, laro na lang tayo. So it's a weekly palaro. So mostly what I do is just I spend my time with them during the weekend. So that's OSX kind of a thing. That community games, that's OSX. Yeah, just go to them. Yun lang yun.
Oh, and then here you are now as part of the talent roster for MPL, and it's a pretty recent pa lang yung journey mo when it comes to content creation. What about you, Naisou? So like before you started doing content creation for games, did you make content for other things, or have you always been like a gamer guy?
I've pretty much always been a gamer guy. I mean, I dabbled a little bit in like fitness stuff too, because that's kind of a big thing for my life as well. But that's pretty much like with the pandemic and everything, it's pretty hard to do. So
yeah,
I would say like pretty much 90% just has been gaming.
So is that why Ray Ashley Vicente Gonzalez here in the comment section said most athletic gourd? Why is it most athletic gourd? He's not really a mobile hero.
Just like, that's kind of the irony of it. I always just say like I was the most athletic gourd was kind of like my saying, because I played gourd with Flicker, and I kind of did like some insane plays with Flicker, and usually just like it was a timing thing. So it was like I made athletic plays with Gord, who's the most like one of the most immobile champions or heroes, but also has a pretty much like a skateboard, so it's like Flicker was my way to make him mobile, and it just became a thing. So
all right. We actually still haven't gotten to play a game together, so hopefully we can get like casters together for like a 5-man, so you can show off those athletic gourd skills. Shout out to everyone tuning in right now. We have Marky Drew Labanoso. We have someone from the Sioux fam here, April Joy Dalaga. Hello, Sir Naisou, supporting from Sioux fam. Hyun says, may challenge po ako kay Naisou. You don't have to do this today. Maybe you can record it some other time. Magtagalog po siya with it for 1 minute. So, you could do it some other time. Doesn't have to be today, but we could keep that in mind. Si Marky Drew Labanosa, sabi dito, Sir OSX, magandang hapon po. And yeah, who else do we still have here? Jade Calora, si JMJM, one of the consistent viewers here in for Day Zero and even for Recall. And for those who are wondering, hindi ngayon yung announcement para sa winners ng mga diamonds for that giveaway. Again, that will be happening on the Day Zero episode 1 talaga for the new season, a few days before the start of MPL Season 8. And the videos that we'll be showing later, that doesn't mean kung pinakita video nyo nanalo kayo ng diamonds. That's not it. Wait for the official announcement on the official episode 1. And for today, yeah, we're just gonna be getting to know the casters. Shoutout sa inyong lahat. Sabi dito, pa-shoutout daw from me, from the Covenry page itself. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's it for now. Don't worry though. We're just gonna take a quick breather. Leo's gonna be joining us, and we're gonna be talking about your submissions for your questions to the casters. We'll get to know a little bit more about OSX and Naisou. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Day Zero pre-show. We'll be right back.